Red Smith Sports Awards Banquet.
The main reason that this banquet was established was to honor at least 10 local area people who might not have been honored for the job they do to help in sports.
The Red Smith Award, of course, goes to someone who has made some unique contributions to sport.
Who has made a significant contribution to sports in the state of Wisconsin.
And also epitomizes the great values that Red Smith exhibited.
Let's give a Red Smith welcome.
Our 1992 Miller Nice Guy Award winner, Mr. Randy White.
Thank you very much. I bet you all thought I wrote that speech that Sig just wrote and gave it to him to read before I came up here. But I called my mother. She wrote it before I got up here. I tell you, it is, and my bass has been updated. It's no longer a 9-pound bass. It's a 13-pound bass. I lost one bigger than that. All you fishermen know all about that, right? But it's a real pleasure for me to be here tonight to receive the Nice Guy Award. You know, I've played football for a lot of years, and this is one award. I was fortunate enough to receive a lot of awards in my career, but the Nice Guy Award is one that I never thought I'd get. I ran into Larry McCarron, who I used to compete against. He does some television work here locally, and he said, "What are you doing up here, Randy, getting a Nice Guy Award?" He said, "You were never a nice guy to me." I said, "Well, that was my job. I wasn't getting paid to be a nice guy when I was playing football. So obviously it's got to be for something I did off the field." One guy, I tell you, when I played in college, you know, I always used to like to watch the linebackers play. One of the guys I really looked up to, who may be responsible for me getting this award tonight, is a guy named Ray Nitschke. Y'all familiar with Ray, right? Well, when Dallas drafted me, I was supposed to take Leroy Jordan's spot and be the middle linebacker for the Cowboys. And they asked me, what did I think about playing middle linebacker? I said, well, you know, I always used to like to watch Ray Nitschke play. He was a real tough guy and mean guy, didn't have any teeth. And, you know, I always liked the way he played. So anyway, somebody evidently sent the article to Ray Nitschke. Well, I was in Columbus, Ohio, receiving an award up there, and Ray Nitschke was being honored at the same awards banquet, and I met him down in the lobby of the hotel, and went up to him, and he says, "Hey," y'all have heard Ray talk, right? "Hey, Randy, come over here. I got some advice for you." He says, "When you get in pro football," he says, "don't make any friends." He said, "Just knock the crap out of everybody you see. You'll make all the friends you need." So that was his advice to me. You know, people, I played for 14 years, and this is my 3rd year of being retired. And people ask me all the time, do you miss football? Do you miss football? Well, I tell you what, I really do miss the game. You know, most of all, I miss Sundays, because to me, that was when, that's when it's all happened. You know, you practice all week and you prepare. And for me, coming down that tunnel before the game starts and they play that national anthem, I tell you what, for me, I was never more alive. I tell you what, every emotion was flowing, little fear, little anger, happy, sad, everything was going at the same time. I mean, I really missed that part of the game. And even now, you know, Sundays roll around, it's been 3 years, when I'm sitting at that game, I get a little grumpy, and my heart starts beating a little faster. So, you know, I do miss the game, but the thing I don't miss is Monday mornings. I tell you what, after 14 years, I get up Monday mornings. You know, I used to play on Sunday, and heck, I could play it again on Tuesday. Just time, the week of practice, just to waste my time to get to the next game. I was glad for those 6 days, and I still didn't feel good for the following Sunday. So I missed the game, but I got a little beat up playing it. Conrad Dobler was mentioned here earlier tonight and got a pretty good, he should be a candidate for this award next year. He really should. I'll tell you a story about Conrad. If you ask Conrad, he's probably the nicest guy in the world. I know Conrad. And I spent a day with him one time. He spent the whole time trying to tell me what a nice guy he was, and everything was everybody else's fault. Well, we're playing against, I think Conrad ended up in Seattle at the end of his career. And it's before we were playing San Francisco in the championship game. And he's playing against John Dutton. I mean, this is after I'd spent some time with Conrad. He told me what a good guy he was, and, he's getting a lot of bad publicity. None of it was true. Well, we're in the game, and Conrad Dobler leg whips John Dutton for a whole game. Finally, in the fourth quarter, Big John's got to come out of the game because he's injured. And Ernie Stautner, I don't know if y'all remember Ernie Stautner, he's a Hall of Famer, was my defensive line coach with the Cowboys. He's a pretty intense guy, but he never would plays everything real straight. And I was on the sidelines at the time. He looked at me, he says, "Randy, go in there and get him." So I go in there, right, and we get a plan. This doesn't always. It was one time in my whole career, okay? But I'm going to share it with you. Don't tell anybody. I go in there, I tell this guard playing the other guy, I says, "Look, you get him, next pass rush, you just stand up and get right in front of him and stand him up. And I'm going to come around him." I said, "When I come around, I'm going to chop his knee right in half. I'm going to get him." I said, "You just stand there like he's blocking you." Well, we get a pass play. He got Dobler standing up. I come around, and I don't know why, but I can't go for his knee. I just elbowed him. I hit him in the head hard as I could, knocked him flat on his back, and I got on top of him, and I had him by the shirt, and I wanted to punch him. And he smiled at me. He says, "Hey, that's all I could do, man." So Dobler is a pretty good guy. Playing for Tom Landry, and I get off up here and let Art get to his part of this program. A lot of people want to know what it was like playing for Coach Landry. Well, Tom Landry was probably one of the finest coaches to ever coach the game, along with Vince Lombardi. He's in the same category as them, and Don Shula. When I first went to Dallas, I got off the airplane. I thought everybody'd have horses and guns and cowboy hats. Well, none of them wore cowboy hats. They didn't have guns. They didn't have horses. I met Tom Landry. I never seen him with his hat off. I didn't know he was bald. But anyway, I was always intimidated by him for some reason. I was always intimidated by him. I mean, he'd walk by you. When you walk by somebody, you kind of nod your head and say hello. I did it to Tom a couple times, and he just kept on walking like he never saw me. And really made me nervous. And I was trying to learn to play middle linebacker. And we'd get in the meetings, and I'd study every night, and I'd know every question possible. Because you get in a meeting with him, it's like quiz time. And if you don't know the answer, he embarrasses you. Believe me, he makes everybody in the room know you don't know the answer. Anyway, he would he'd ask me a question, and I'd know the answer. And all I could do was grab the sides of the desk. I'd grab the sides of the desk, I'd squeeze it, and I'd go, and he'd ask somebody else the question. And he'd look at me, and then he'd ask somebody else to know the question. And so I figured he thought I had something wrong with my speaking. I couldn't speak very good, right? Well, this goes on, and I don't talk to the man. I played for the man for 14 years. Well, the first 10 years, we never talked anything other than X and O's and tackling, right? So it's before a game, and they did an article on me in this Game Day magazine that comes out, and it had me holding a big stringer of fish, Cowboys fishing tackle, and had an article in there about fishing and everything. It's before a game, a time I just kind of hang out in my locker, don't say a whole lot, sit there and relax. Well, here comes Coach Landry over to my locker, and I think he wants to ask me something about the game. He goes, "Hey, Randy," he says, "that's a really nice article you had in that magazine." And I looked up at him, and I went, So to this day, I'm not sure Tom thinks I can talk or not. I tell you, it's really an honor for me to be here tonight. I appreciate y'all giving me this award. I'd like to congratulate all the other award winners here. And Coach Holgram, the best of luck to you here in Green Bay. I hope you all do great. I know you will. And thank you. I'm glad to be a part of this program tonight.
Please subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up, and hit that notification bell so you get notified when we post another great episode or interview. Download the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for your support.